You mess with TikTok a lot?
I just watch compilations on like YouTube and stuff. I never get on the app. I really deleted the app because one of my friends told me that they be like, because I've been getting like emails, like somebody trying to get into my email like every day, and it'll be like, here is your single
Mm.
sign-in code, like every day. And he was like, oh, if you delete that, somebody probably spying on you. So I was like, all right, let me delete TikTok. But
Yeah, I didn't start actually like going on TikTok until relatively recently.
mm-hmm.
Um, Man, that thing is dangerous.
It really is. You can spend a lot of time on there.
You can spend time, and also I know we talked about this some pods back about the CEO not letting his like young kids mess with TikTok, but I see why. Like, I find myself being influenced by stuff I see on there, not just to purchase stuff, but like I'll give you an example
Mm-hmm.
because you guys probably it wouldn't come up in your algorithm, but somehow I ended up on like lesbian talk.
For
Like
real.
I'll just see all these like
Dyke
lesbian
talk. Dyke talk.
and lesbian talk, stud talk,
Yeah.
and I've never done anything with a woman. I have no desire to be with women. I've never had a threesome, none of that. But every now and then I'll be on lesbian talk, and like you look at the comments, and all the comments are straight women being like, am I really straight? Like, am I straight now? Because they'll show you one that kind of makes you pause, like, wait.
Yeah.
Are they a lot of times older talking?
The people in the TikToks are the ones in the comments.
The one in TikTok.
No, they're usually like young.
I mean, I get it. Studs be handsome. So a younger man handsome. I go like,
And I just see all these girls in the comments like, damn, I thought I was straight until just this moment. And I'm like, yo, I really feel like TikTok, if you see enough of these like studs, for example, on TikTok, you might one day just be like, damn, like, maybe. I saw a YouTube video about this a girl who was like, oh, I figured out I was a lesbian from TikTok.
really?
Like, I just started to see so many like lesbians on TikTok that I was like, yo, I think I fuck with it.
That don't see, but that's not even the right logic though.
No, I'm like, if you never had the thought before, can you really be influenced to then have the thought later?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That'd be an interesting topic, but I really don't know. Like that's crazy.
But I will say I've seen enough of those like lesbian TikToks. Every now and then I'm like, number one, why am I getting these so much? What is TikTok trying to say about me and my behavior?
I mean, it could just be just other women. You know, what if I looked up lesbian couple? Why is it the first thing? Like,
I'm telling you, it's a big community on TikTok. Like, this is like a major thing.
I ain't gonna lie. I did used to watch like some lesbians on like YouTube. They'll be doing they be doing there's like this part of YouTube that be like family content kind of like they do pranks and
Yeah.
they do all that type of shit. I used to watch these too. They used to like do like different eating like mukbangs and all that type of stuff.
Would you ever do a relationship
No,
family?
that shit corny because it's fake.
What if that could be your career? What if, your girl was like, listen, we can make this channel. The channel's gonna blow up. If it was guaranteed to blow up, and let's say you made 20 grand a month for making mukbangs, pranks.
I'd rather do OnlyFans, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. Because at least that's real. I mean, nah, you can fake sex too, so yeah.
So you'd rather be fucking on camera than challenges?
Yeah, with a mask on though. Like a medical mask, like the blue hospital mask on. And the short of breath. I don't know. There's something about that. Like I like watching it, but I just feel like I don't want to put all of my relationship like I feel like that's putting your whole relationship out there because y'all not going. So there's gonna be some days when y'all don't get along.
Yeah.
Some days when she mad at you. Some days when you mad at her.
And then you gotta fake the funk.
Yeah, like I don't like doing that. Or I don't think I would like doing that. But 20,000 a month sound like I don't know.
You threw me off with that with the OnlyFans option. You would mess with OnlyFans instead. Okay.
I'm not saying I would do that. I'm just saying.
And then if you had to do one,
like I would definitely do that. Let me see if I can find them lesbians right quick. Wouldn't lesbian names be like Shirley and shit? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I ever had like a lesbian friend before that I knew that was a lesbian. I don't know.
I feel like that's why they're like TikToks are so popular. I think it's like kind of elusive to most people. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I think most people have gay men in their life, but I don't necessarily know if a lot of women or a lot of people have, you know, a lot of lesbians in their life that they can talk to and hear their experiences about or whatever. But
Probably not.
would you ever do a relationship YouTube channel? $20K a month.
Like with who? With my girl or just myself?
Mm-hmm.
He said with yourself. Could you do that? You could do a relationship with yourself. Like, yeah, it's me.
I'm pranking myself.
I mean, DJ Envy does it.
He does?
With himself?
No, his girl.
Okay.
Or his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to make prank videos, mukbangs.
I mean, I like it. What's that? Malini and Chicklet on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
I like the way they be going back and forth at each other.
You don't think that should be fake sometimes?
No, it's fake. It's just for laughs and shit.
Yeah, I don't like that.
They exaggerate it, but
Because the fake shit they do be toxic, though. That's why I don't like them.
I mean, that's the shit that people do. That's like how people really are.
I've never seen them before. What do they do?
I mean, you could just look it up. It's called chicklet.hf, his Instagram. It's him and his girl. They always just making jokes on each other. And they have like their own little pods and do like they're kind of like comedy kind of style or whatever.
Like, she be emasculating that nigga. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
But it'd be funny.
Like, I think that's so interesting to do things that could potentially, like, make jokes that could potentially ruin your relationship. But
No, I feel like they're real secure. If you're real secure in your relationship, I don't think it should be a problem.
But the niggas in the comments like, man, that nigga ain't shit. Come fuck with me. That'll make you insecure.
Not really. Not if you there with her.
When she starts smiling at that phone, I'm like, damn, got my ass.
Well, another interesting thing that's kind of going on in relationships these days is there was a BuzzFeed article that came out, which RIP BuzzFeed News, but it's an article talking about women who earn more than their husbands. And like some of these women, it's like big gaps. Like, oh, she makes $130,000 more than her husband type thing. And they just kind of talk about like some of their different, you know, situations. Like, yo, I gotta stroke his ego because I don't want him to get resentful. Some of these women are like doing double duty. They're like making, like one of the women, I think she makes like $300K. She was the only one who was working. Her husband wasn't working. And she still had to come home and like do all the housework because she didn't want him to feel emasculated. And then some of the women just talked about like, yo, like it actually, you know, kind of messes with my head a little bit. Like I'm anxious because I know that without me, this thing isn't really going to rock.
You know, before I answer that, let me go ahead and introduce this episode. Thank you so much for listening. Welcome back to the Friends Podcast, man. My name is Matt, and I'm here with my two co-hosts.
What's up? It's Jermayne.
This is Rod. This is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out. We're streaming everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our socials: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts at the Friends Pod. We got merch and different things coming, so be on the lookout. Keep your notifications up.
Most definitely. Now, Jermaine, let's kind of refresh the people. So kind of retell us a little bit about that so we can get into this topic.
Mm-hmm. So BuzzFeed News did a whole breakdown. It's real in-depth article talking about women who make more money than their partners. And so they profiled a couple different relationships where women made significantly more than their partners. Mm-hmm. So for example, one woman, she makes $235,000 more than her husband. Another woman makes $300,000 while her husband is unemployed and has been unemployed for 5 years. And so what's interesting about the article is that a lot of the women talked about, you know, trying to make sure that their husbands and their boyfriends didn't feel emasculated, you know, making sure that they still felt respected. Some of the women, even though they made significantly more money, were still handling like all of the at-home responsibilities. One of the women I thought was interesting. She's a Black woman who makes significantly more than her husband. I think it was, yes, or her domestic partner, $190,000 more than her domestic partner. And he's white, she's Black. She says she didn't want to marry him because if they get divorced, she's like, yo, I'm not trying to give him my money. I'm not trying to give a white man alimony. So I'm just curious, like, as two men, like, what are your thoughts on having such a big gap in income in relationships, or women making more money than men in general?
How do I feel about this? I have a lot of feelings because I'm not no gender roles type of person, and I've said that before on this podcast. I'm not somebody that's like, I do have certain things about gender roles that I do think should be there. Like, I don't think women need to cook or clean. I don't think men need to be the biggest breadwinners, but I just feel like I would be super insecure. You know what I mean? And this is why they come home and they still cooking, they still doing the child rearing, they still doing all this stuff because men do have egos and men are sensitive and stuff like that. So like, but for me, I just feel like I don't know. I can't really. I wish I could go through the situation so I could know like how I would really feel. But just based off what you're saying, I just feel like I would be like super insecure about it. But I think how I would take that, I would try to boss up my life and be like, all right, let me go ahead and make a little bit more money. So it's not.
Why? Just stay home. Watch the kids.
You would just stay home and watch the kids then.
Yeah. Long as, I feel like as long as my wife isn't like throwing it in my face and she looks happy and I'm happy, who cares who makes more money?
So do you feel like it's her job to make sure that you don't feel insecure?
Um, if she just feel a way about my income, I feel like that's her problem. Like you knew my income and you knew, like I saw you from the ground up working your way up, so I know you just didn't start at the top either. Um, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like I just don't feel like the partner should throw it in each other's face, whether the man or the female makes more.
If I was the woman, I would definitely throw that shit in the dude face because you really making me work. I'm getting way more money, like 200,000 more than you. So I
But
don't know
if
if
you
that
make it two
necessarily.
hundred thousand and your wife makes 400,000, what's the big difference? Like you both can afford the same thing.
Well, and that's a good point. The gaps that we're talking about here, so to give an example, one woman, she makes 65,000 and her husband makes like 30,000. So I think too, like you said, it's different if you're making in the same league, but when you're at a point where
They about
like,
the same league. They ain't that far off. 65 and 30.
Well, what about the
Like what
one
else you
where
gonna do?
what
Like
about the one where she make 300,000 and he makes 65,000? Like that's a huge gap right there.
that's a big gap right there.
And then so it's like she's still coming home and
And that's the black
making
lady
dinner.
with the white guy, right?
I don't believe so. No, that's two white people right there.
yeah,
Um, it looks like they live in Omaha, Nebraska.
Talk about that story a bit more.
the husband is an ER nurse and he makes 55 a year, and then the wife is a obstetrician and she makes 300 grand a year. um and what's interesting about their story is they met when she was still in residency, and so when she was in residency he technically made a little bit more than her, and then when she finished up residency, obviously her salary increased dramatically. So now she, makes way, 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 way more than him. It was
How's
interesting
a
about
nurse
that.
only making 55K? An ER nurse, that's ridiculously low for a nurse. Is he
Yeah,
purposely not working as much to watch the kids while she works more?
that's a good question because that do seem kind of low. Like for an ER nurse, I feel like that would be important, but maybe ER nurses don't get paid as they need to. But yeah, I just think that for her to just come home and do like because this the thing though, right? Just because she makes more, does that mean that she does more in her day? That's more physically taxing.
So what's interesting is like in the article, she kind of gets on that. She's like, yo, like in the pandemic, he was working long hours. He was, in the middle of all the chaos. He was definitely working harder than her, but obviously still doesn't make as much. So I feel like that's a factor of it too. Like, yes, I think the dollar amounts, like money does matter. Everybody has bills to pay. But I think it's easier to have respect for somebody who you see is working hard, where it's like, yeah, you make less, but I know like you put in work to make that money. And if you're passionate about it, I think that makes a big difference too.
This is true. Because that's why I was gonna say, like, all right, so if his shit is more physically taxing, and like, okay, I get why maybe she would come home and like make the stuff and go put the, change diapers and all that type of stuff, the housework and stuff like that, the laundry. But like if it's like y'all both, like if he not doing the same, like if she trying to stroke his ego and he not even really doing shit, like he's sitting at a desk for 8 hours and she's still trying to stroke his ego, like, oh, let me cook for you, oh, what you need, rub your feet, all that type of shit. I don't necessarily like that. I just feel like you still want the gender roles while not being the provider. So it's like, why are you not bossing your life up so you can like get to the point where it's like you don't even got to work no more, like your wife for your wife.
Gender roles and everything don't correlate to how much money you're making, though. Like,
Yeah, it do.
going to
Yeah,
make
like who's
meals and
the
stuff like
provider?
that. The provider.
Gender roles is the male provides, the woman raises the child, keeps house and home.
But they're both bringing money into the household.
But he bringing pigeon food in there. To be honest, like let's be for real, like he ain't really bringing nothing that she don't need. You know what I mean? That's her taxes for the year, like that that he bring it in there.
Not even probably.
It's my money, not her money. And I'm kind of wondering, like, is all these women, they all complaining that they make way more than their dude?
No, they're not complaining necessarily. They were just kind of talking about the different perspectives. So like that woman in particular, like her husband is going back to school to become a nurse anesthesiologist. So she's like, yo, I'm cool with it because he's trying to better himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, what about the dude who's okay with how much he makes and the family dynamic, and they just want to watch the kids do their job?
So that's the case of the woman who makes I think like 65 and her husband makes like 30. Like he works at a bike shop and she's like, yo, this is his passion. And he would rather stay home with the kids. So like I'm cool with him doing this on the side and living his dream. I think the one couple that was super fucked up to me is the one where the woman makes 300 grand and the husband has been unemployed for 5 years and he doesn't want to do any of the household work. And they have a mentally or physically disabled child. So she has to prepare like special meals for the child. She has to do all of that because he doesn't want to do that stuff and she doesn't want him to feel emasculated.
It sounds like she just want to leave the relationship, and she should just go ahead and do that. Like, I mean, either way, the child is going to need care. So, I mean, I don't know how many dudes who want a wife with a kid like that.
Isn't it? Is their kid, Jermayne?
Yeah, their kid.
I don't know what the dude want to take on that responsibility. Like, if she was to lead the relationship and try to find someone
Right.
in her own bracket or above, I don't see many dudes knocking on her door.
I mean, to me, I feel like she might as well take the chance because the nigga not doing nothing anyway. So like, she might as well take a chance and go be bad all by herself. Shout out to Tyler Perry. Like,
Yeah, she should go ahead and get a dog.
she need more than a dog. She need more. It's not that she needs companionship. She needs somebody that's gonna help. You know what I mean? Like that's not honorable though. Like your own child and you just sitting there like not really helping and doing anything.
She could hire somebody.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have a husband who's not working, it's like, damn, now I got to take on another expense when you could just do this for your own kid. I think a lot of it goes back to what you mentioned earlier, Matt. Like, everybody has their own views on gender roles. Like, if you don't want to subscribe to gender roles, that's cool to me. But then both people should still be contributing in some way to the relationship in the household, whether it's in finances, whether it's in taking care of the kids, taking care of the household responsibilities. Like, you can't just be sitting on your ass all day. I'm sorry.
Like, what does he do? Like, do he do anything? He probably he might be like the accountant, so like he probably see where all the money go and shit like that, or like he probably eat everything that she cooked. But like, what do you do? Like, what are you contributing?
I just don't see any problem with that.
How? What? What you mean? That's crazy to me. Like this nigga,
Like, he's going to work.
No, he's unemployed for
he's
5
unemployed?
years.
And he's just around the house.
For 5 years, yeah.
And I guess they just got their bank accounts together, just spending money and
Yep.
living a life. Trophy husband.
But you can't be no. You can't be no trophy husband not doing nothing. Like,
Why not? That's literally what it means.
that's what a trophy wife or husband is. I thought a trophy husband at least, you know what I'm saying.
Whenever I see
burn
trophy,
something.
whenever I see trophy in front of the name, like that means they do nothing.
I mean, when I hear trophy wife, I think you still gotta like take care of the home. Like you gotta keep yourself up. You still are doing something. You aren't working, but you're still,
Nah, they not doing nothing. If trophy wives, they have cleaners, maids. They're literally just there to look good.
Yeah, he's got a cleaner, his damn wife.
So that's why I'm saying, like, they can hire somebody, and then like she don't have to worry about like I gotta do everything and all that. Like, I feel like she just knew the dude wasn't a cleaner from the beginning. Like, why do you just expect him all of a sudden because he loses his job just start doing a bunch of stuff he didn't normally do before?
That's a bigger conversation right there. Like marrying somebody or getting a relationship with somebody expecting to change them, which we talked about that before. But like, if you already
Yeah,
knew dude wasn't shit,
he
like
old as shit. He's stuck in his ways. Got kids. Like, if you've been cleaning and everything like that, like, keep cleaning. Like,
because he ain't gonna
like,
do
why
it.
are you? Yeah, if you've been cooking, keep cooking. Like, all of a sudden, because your paycheck go up, now all of a sudden you can't do that.
Damn.
Like, I'm just kind of confused. That's why I'm saying, what's the correlation?
I'm not gonna lie, that is a good point because she knew what she signed up for.
Like, we all gotta eat. Like, what's the problem?
But that's just, I just think I do agree with you, Rod. Like she knew what the fuck she signed up for, but at the same time, they got a disabled child, which takes a lot of care and attention. And it's
He
like
ain't gonna stop being disabled either.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like
What's the
she
difference? So,
she might as well she might as well go ahead and get up out of that relationship, try to find somebody,
nah, she might as
anybody.
well start cooking and find a maid if she feels overwhelmed.
No, that's crazy. That's wild. No, I don't know about all that, but I think so. Rod? So it sounds like you basically you down for being the trophy husband.
Is she down for it? I feel like it's hard to put the situation on me because I'm a naturally like hustle and try to find some way to do something I love. I don't know if dude's just really just lounging around on the couch or if he's trying to make his own thing pop and it just hasn't happened for him yet. I don't know his whole story.
Nah, he's just lounging. He says he's not happy with the jobs that he gets offered.
If you don't go work at Staples and shut the fuck up, like man, you got to do something, man. Like I just don't see how you could just sit around as a man.
I don't get that either.
Yeah, like or as a woman, like not do anything.
I
Like you
don't get
just
as a human being, yeah, like what you're saying. Like
yeah,
how you
like
can just watch your life just go by and just want to do nothing.
hmm
Like, like you really just gonna leave your mark as lazy. Like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any mental health things that can come into this? Like maybe he depressed. Like is that possible?
That's definitely a possibility for sure. And that's why I was asking earlier about like, as the female partner, like, do you think it's the woman's responsibility in still showing support or like not making him feel emasculated? Because then that can lead to depression. Like, yeah, it might not be his fault he makes less. That might just be how the cookie crumbles. But then, like, how do you make sure? Whose responsibility is it to make sure that he doesn't end up depressed? Is it yours by like not making him feel bad about it? Is it his responsibility? Is it mutual?
No, that's a good question. That's another larger conversation on what is are you supposed to depend on your partner for happiness?
Yeah, should he leave and find someone that makes less than him?
For what? Then they just gonna be ass out.
But I mean, if he feels insecure, his ego's hit because his wife makes so much more, and the dynamic changes. What should the guy do?
I'd be really curious to like hear from these men's perspective, like you said, like what they should do or like what they feel like they need to do. Because I think that's tough. You could get with somebody who makes less, and then you carry now more of the financial burden. Um, Also, like, yeah, you love your partner, but you may not feel like you get to be the man in your house because she makes more. It's an interesting spot.
What does being the man in the house mean? Like, what exactly do you feel like decisions that you can make when you make more money than your partner?
I mean, every couple is different, so I can't speak like totally and like what everybody should do, but I think whoever is the breadwinner is probably going to have more of the decision on where the finances go,
That's
so
what
that
I'm
can.
saying. Like, in terms of finances, like, we know we all got bills. So that's whatever your cars, your house, electricity, cable, your kids, a few extracurriculars, things like that. But outside of that, what kind of real decisions is really being made that both of them don't have like a say, or one person will have to take the overarching authority to say this is what's going to happen. I feel like there's not many decisions like that unless they're like making like a lot of the money is going to something that maybe they're investing in. Then maybe there might be a dispute there. Be like, I'm trying to invest in this. Like, say if the husband say, "Oh, I found this real good business idea, but I just need to invest some of the money," and then she making more money, but I'd be like, I don't know if I really, if she don't wholeheartedly trust his idea and his vision for whatever you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
do.
See the man of the house.
Like she might, I could see then there might be like a power dynamic there. But I think in normal everyday relationship and family, I don't think there's that many overarching opportunities for one person over the other.
I think it might not be like a conversation that you're having all the time, but I do think I can see how it comes into a relationship on a regular basis. Like, let's say I was married and I made more, and my husband was like, "Yo, you got to chill on the spending." I would probably be like, "But I work." Like, like what you mean? Versus if he was the main breadwinner, it'd be like, "Yeah, you're right."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like that's what makes you the quote unquote man of the house. If you have the more money, you can make the more financial decisions. You can, where are we going to eat? Where are we going to go on vacation?
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going to? I'm just leading. That's what being the man of the house is, or the person of the house, just leading.
You pick where y'all go eat.
Yeah.
I'm saying like that's probably something that you would have to do, like as the man of the house. Like, now
Like
we're going to the steakhouse.
whoever is paying gets the right to say, like, where are we going?
Yeah, like, no, we're not about to go to Ruth Chris. We're going to Outback.
Exactly.
Like,
Unless you want to pay if you about to eat this ostrich. Yeah,
you
these
know,
baby back ribs real quick.
that's just such an interesting power dynamic, though. Just because making more money than your partner is just like you can really always shit on them like every day. You can shit on them every day, to be honest. It's not right, but you could.
And that's why it's important to be with somebody you actually fuck with, where like neither one of you wants to shit on the other person. Like whether it's the woman who has more money, the man, like where you want to hear this other person's opinion, you want to uh, make decisions collaboratively. Because if you don't, like you said, you could really run some shit.
No, you could for sure. But listen, let's go ahead and get into this next topic. So it's kind of a little bit related. So it's kind of still talking about like man versus woman, quote unquote. So let's talk about the manosphere.
Manosphere. Like, what the hell does that mean?
This is basically what the manosphere is. Is like people like Kevin Samuels, people like um, Fresh and Fit, people like Andrew Tate, and people in that same vein who are getting online, acting like they know everything about relationships, acting like they know how to get women, riz gods, riz masters, people that basically just be on the internet just talking about all the problems that they have with women and how women need to be better and stuff like that. So that's basically what the manosphere is. Um, I would say for me, especially with starting this podcast, at the very beginning, I was like, nah, I don't want to even touch relationship type shit because I don't want to get put in that box. Or like, oh, these niggas is just two people talking about, like what women, talking about bad women and stuff like that. I never want to fit in that box. But I guess the question is like, is that something that y'all follow? Like, are y'all Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit fans? Like, is there something that y'all consume on a regular basis?
I kind of want to understand this manosphere term. Is just because anybody who's like a man who's okay with being a man and speaks on what he wants from a woman, is that manosphere?
So yes, you do watch Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit from that answer.
No,
Because this is the thing.
no. The thing is, it's like most men have these opinions. You don't think so?
No, most men do not have them opinions. I think most men. This is the thing.
Do you think you're like most men want to have that opinion of a Kevin Samuels, like the woman should be cooking and cleaning?
I don't know. Honestly, I can't even say. I can't even say if most men would have that opinion. I feel like back in the day, yeah. I don't know about in 2023, like if that's what everybody wants. You know what I mean? If that's what everybody expects from a
You don't
wife.
know if you feel that way, like yes or
Oh,
no?
me personally?
Yeah.
No, I know how I feel. No, I don't necessarily expect that. I could do that shit. You know what I mean? We could, you know what I'm saying? Like split the responsibilities to me, but that's just me, and I'm, me. So, but like, I just think that it's not about men being a man and being proud to be a man and stuff like that. Like you can do that. That's fine. But it's kind of just like it just gets to the extra point where it's like they talking about OnlyFans hoes. They talk about, oh nah, I can't have no woman with kids. That's
Those women are coming on the show though, and they're asking questions.
they are.
So what's the problem? They're asking for their opinion, an opinion from a man, and the man is giving it to them.
So we talking about Kevin Samuels specifically, yeah.
Fresh and Fit, whoever you want to say, all women are coming on their show, on their platform, asking them for advice or just to have the discussion about relationship
Relationships, yeah.
dynamics.
Yeah.
So I don't see a problem with, like, that's why I'm saying this manosphere is like, and Kevin Samuels, like the hate that these certain individuals get. I don't really get it because people are willingly going on there asking for that information.
It's the framing. It's how they do it though. Because like I said, these are the same dudes that be like, they'll talk about certain women and how they aren't worthy of anything because they don't have this, because they have kids, because they weigh over a certain amount of weight, because they fucked so many types of dudes. Like, like they're making other women seem unworthy of anything, let alone love. You know what I'm saying?
But
I
let's
think
let's
that's
be
what it
real.
is.
Let's be real. Okay. So majority of the women that we're probably talking about, they're coming on there saying they want a man who makes a lot of money, a big dick, looks great, tall, every last one of them. Most, like I would say 70%. And if they're all asking for the same thing as a guy, knowing like other guys and males and being around each other and just like it's just not that's not what it is. Like it starts to sound like delusional after a while.
I mean, we all have our, but I can't fault them for wanting that. You know what I mean? And that's
If
my
you start
thing.
giving statistics though, why are they mad at facts? That'd be the real question for me. It'd be like, if I'm Kevin Samuels and I'm giving you a statistic and I'm saying this is what it is, and then you're trying to debate me back saying, well, I'm me and I know how I move.
Hmm.
It like, it just like, what are you talking about? Like, it becomes like, it gets to a point where it's just like, no, like that's not real. That's not gonna happen for you.
I can't fault them for having realistic expectations.
Everyone has dreams.
Right, exactly. But some people let them dreams become like what they really want, which is fine too. Like if it's like a professional dream, okay, cool. But like when it comes to relationship dreams and like, oh, I want this, that, and the third, there's compromise that have to happen. So women can't get no 6 feet, six figures, whatever, like all the time. They can't get that. And I think that's where the disconnect is that women see because this is the thing that people don't realize is like Kevin Samuels was talking to about a specific type of dude. The what do you call it? Oh, the high value man. He was talking about that. Most niggas not high value.
Exactly. And that was his whole point why every woman's coming on the show saying high value. It's like, why do you even think you're in that realm of a high value man? You're with most general public.
I get
You're
that.
not high value. So why are you asking for that? And like, why do you even want that? Like for what? Like that you're not used to that. Like you're good with what you're doing. I kind of want to get Jermaine's perspective on this though.
Which part? Because you guys touched on a couple different things.
Let's start with the original question, Manosphere, that one.
Like, what do I consider it to be?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything. So let me rewind back. Have I consumed that content? Hell yeah, absolutely. I think it's interesting to see and hear men's opinions on things. And I don't think there's a problem with the term manosphere because I think it actually is like men deserve to have a space where they can share their opinions. So there needs to be a lane for men to share their opinions. I think what's really interesting is, so I started watching Kevin Samuels and like, this was like early pandemic days. So like he hadn't gone viral yet. I think he had like 80,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I was bored and I'm like, this nigga's talking for 3 hours a night. Like this gives me something to do. It was interesting to see like how many people really like stole his content. Because I think if you listen to his message, his actual message, I think is very different than what some of these other guys are putting out. Like his message was basically that he wants Black people to be married. And so women need to find men who are suitable to where they are in life and settle down with those guys. And I think what's unfortunate is I do feel like some people bit off of his like viral moments and were like, okay, cool. I want to say some wild shit and have women calling angry at me so I can go viral. But their whole point is more to like demean women than to actually help women get with men who would be a good fit for them.
And that's where the manosphere comes in because it's like Kevin Samuels did have a little bit of that demeaning, like it was his tone and it was a little bit of a demeaning thing.
I'll give Kevin Samuels, I watched a lot of fucking Kevin Samuels. And I will say he only ever went off on people who like were nasty to him first. Like I feel like he, especially in the early days, like I think later on down the line, I feel like he also was trying to go viral. But in the beginning, like he only ever went off on people who like gave him a reason to. Versus some of the other guys I've seen in that space will just like shit on women for no reason. I think it just depends on like what's the outcome you're trying to get. If your outcome is something like Kevin Samuels, where you actually want people to be in healthy relationships, like I'm all down for it. And I think more women need to get advice from men about how to handle relationships. But the same way, I don't want to hear like women just shit talk on men all day. I don't want to hear men shit on women all day either.
For no reason though. And it really just be just petty shit. Like I said, like when I hear people like what is that community called? Like is it the red pill community or something like that? Like the people that just be in that vibe where it's like, borderline incels. You know what I mean? Like that type of shit is just like that's the people that probably took that Kevin Samuels blueprint and was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna run with it, and it's just gonna be women hate.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like we all need each other. Like women need men and men need women. And so everybody should be trying to figure out like how to have better relationships with each other. And so the same way that some women are like, yo, I can do it on my own. So like fuck getting married, fuck men. I'll just, have kids on my own. But same way I think that's detrimental. I don't think it's detrimental when men are like, nah, I don't need women. I can I can take care of myself. Like, nah, we humans are on this earth to be with each other. And I think we just need more on all sides, more productive conversations on how to actually like have positive relationships with each other.
Yeah, and I just wish that's what the actual manosphere was or is, versus like people just trying to shit.
I was gonna say there's some dudes on there that I do actually really enjoy. Another guy who I think is dope, who doesn't seem to get a lot of credit because he's more on like the positive side, is this dude mediocre tutorials.
Oh, I've seen him before. Yeah.
Yeah, and he like has a lot of really productive stuff on his channel about like, how to get your money right, like how to boss up your life. Like, I think there's some guys out there who are really trying to do good, but I think the unfortunate part is you have people like Fresh and Fit, like they're the main ones who really like get under my skin. Where it's like you aren't even trying to be productive. You just literally want to go viral.
But that's who they're vying on though.
What kind of people?
Like they're finding women who are big into social media and probably OnlyFans and these different platforms. Um, yeah, so it doesn't really shock me on their platform that they all have like the same similar thought process.
Yeah, that's the other thing too that I wish they had more in those shows. Is like I get, for example, like Kevin Samuels, you just have the people who call in, so you can't control who calls in. But on some of the other shows where they have guests come in, is like they'll have the most extreme women, like either extreme feminists or extreme hoes.
Yeah, they're,
You
they're
know?
doing that for the content. Like I get their
Yeah,
platform. Like that's why Fresh and Fit's a little different because they're trying to go viral. Like they're trying to have heated arguments. They're trying to throw people out.
yeah.
That's all a part of the entertainment in their show. And they're inviting the rawest people.
I guess it's just why it frustrates me. Is like have a couple normal girls and a couple normal guys who like, yo, I want to meet a good guy. I want to meet a good girl. And maybe I do need help on how to make that happen. Like people need those tips. Share the knowledge, man. Share the knowledge.
let's go ahead and get into this next topic that we got for you folks.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear this story.
So I was watching a show called Zombie House Flippers or something like that. Um, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I feel like I like house shows, like
Look
where
at you.
people
That means
flip
you're
house.
growing up.
But you know what? The low key, what happens is like when I turn on the TV, it'll be like whatever my mom was watching previously. So it'll just be on the TV, and I'll be like, oh, I watch this, whatever. Um, so Zombie House Flippers. So it's the episode in particular. It was a black dude, it was an Asian woman, and a white woman. Right? They were all working together to try to flip this house and just kind of take it, make it from nothing to something. So, as when I was watching the video or watching the show, I already kind of have felt vibes like sexual tension vibes between the three. Like I don't know if they had did like a threesome before, like they was swinging before or some shit like that. I kind of had already felt vibes. What had happened was it just happened to be a scene where the dude called the white woman. And you can see like the call comes in on her phone. It's like, okay, so somebody calling or whatever. But then it shows like the name on her phone, like on her iPhone, that says chocolate honey. Then it has a chocolate bar emoji. Then it has the honey pot emoji. And that just, I don't even know necessarily what to say about it, but to me, it's just like
So many red flags.
it's just a lot of things to like my first question is why did they not cut that out in post? Like why didn't they blank that out? Um, but it just comes to a larger conversation of like, black men and black women who, might date outside of, black people and like them calling them chocolate, calling them mocha, caramel, different types of food items.
Is that same along the line of being somebody's Nubian princess?
Yeah. Cause what is Nubian? Like we don't even know what Nubian is. Like you could just be saying that shit. But yeah, is that something that like kind of gets on y'all nerves too? Like if y'all see that or hear that, like like maybe somebody on social media will be like a white dude be like, look at my chocolate queen here. Like
That literally like is the definition of cringe to me, is hearing that. Ugh.
yeah, like so like let's kind of talk about how we feel about that. Like
I mean, to me, that's like the definition of a fetish right there.
right, yeah.
That's the definition of fetishization, because you could call him anything else. Anything else. Why has it got to be, number one, food related, and number two, something that has to be associated with his skin color? Why can't you be like, oh, that's my honey? I don't know.
Like what if it was like what else is brown? Like boot? What if she called what if somebody like my little Timberland? You know, like, is that different? If it's not food, is it different?
Well, that's why I asked about the Nubian princess comment, because I dated a white dude one time for like a quick minute. And that was one of the moments where I was like, this is not going any further, because he called me, it was something to that effect, like, oh, my little Nubian princess or something like that. And he was like very dead ass serious. I was just like, oh, fuck no.
Like, what is it? Like, do they think that we like that?
I don't know. It almost felt like he had been waiting his whole life to say that.
But yeah, because it's just like what I was saying. Like, is it something that they think that we like to be referred to as our skin color? Because like, what if I was just like, what they be calling white people, like milk and like like
White chocolate.
yeah, white chocolate, like my little
You know,
white chocolate.
I think they confuse us saying those things to each other as something that they can say. To me, it's almost in the same vein of like the N-word. Like, you just can't say it. So like, I could sit here and say like, ooh, I like chocolate men. But no, a white lady, you cannot say that. You can't. You got to find another way to say it. No.
Should we say that too, though? Is it a problem if we say that, like chocolate caramel?
I mean, it gets into a bigger conversation around colorism. That's for sure.
Because it really, like, once you started getting the light skin, like, it don't really be a lot of things, like a lot of foods to describe like light skinned people. Like, what could it be? Like phyllo dough, like
Latte.
latte.
Latte colored.
Yeah, like, you know, like, so I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't do that.
Caramel mocha.
Yeah, like, so is that kind of like the conversation of like, should we say the N-word? It might be the same thing.
It might be. We might be onto something right here.
Now that shit was just unsettling to me. I just thought I needed to bring that up. Just put this in the atmosphere. A&E, I don't know what the fuck y'all was doing. I don't know why y'all didn't cut that part out. Now, let's go ahead and get into this last topic.
So Chance was out here wilding. Chance was in Carabana, shaking his ass, moving the tail feather, and apparently was caught on social media. My guy Chance, I saw his moves though. He was looking good out there. Like he was having
He was
fun.
catching that ass.
Yeah, like she was throwing it back. She was smiling. I feel like what people go to Carabana for, like enjoying themselves. And then here comes social media with the issue with everything in their terms. They wanna shit on my boy Joy on his birthday. Like on his birthday though?
Was that really his birthday?
Yeah.
I missed that detail.
I'm pretty sure it was his birthday. He was celebrating. He looked like he was celebrating for sure. So he was out there, and people are saying, why is a married man at Carabana and got a dark chocolate woman?
Wait. No, we're not doing chocolate. We're not doing chocolate no more.
And just whining back on him and just having a good time. Like he shouldn't be moving like that. Why is he doing that?
Can I say this first though? This shit was so quick though. Like, it was literally like a 5-second dance. Does that matter? Like, that's not cheating, right? Like, that was 5 seconds. He was just passing by. Was like, ooh, hey.
It was literally like a pass by kind of thing too. Like you right.
Okay, so do you guys think it's cheating?
No.
So then what if that was your wife? And she was at Carnival. And
I
you
mean,
saw
that makes it a little different from the person throwing it and catching it.
No.
Like women are throwing it, so and dudes are catching it. So it's a little different if my girl's throwing it back like purposely, like she's throwing it. The dude's just catching it and like doing his move. So I feel like that's the difference.
What if she don't look back though? I feel like if you look back and make it real. Like, if she just but actually that might be worse. Like, she just shaking ass for anybody. Like, she's not even looking back to see who's back there.
Indiscriminate ass shaking. Yeah, I think that's worse.
I didn't even think about that.
And he smacked her ass too. That's crazy.
Like I wouldn't even believe her. Yeah, like you're right. Why would I believe that she would indiscriminately throw her ass back on anyone?
Yeah.
This was a quick little twerk. I'm looking at the video. This was real quick, I will say.
And he moved on. Maybe to the next twerk though. We don't know. We don't know what he moved on to. Like,
he got a hold of the cameras after that. He was like, "Man, y'all gotta chill. The rest of this trip." His wife called him ASAP.
Let me see if he looked at the camera.
That thing was moving though. That thing was moving. Okay, girl.
Now he did see the camera. I seen where he seen the
At the
camera.
end, yeah. That's why I was so quick.
Mm-hmm. He was like, ha, 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 ha. We wasn't doing nothing.
You know, I think it was the ass smack that made it like, all right now. Come on.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be no hands. When you go to the strip club, no hands.
Yeah, you can catch it, but you had to smack it.
But yeah, that's kind of crazy. And then so you want to talk about the response too, right?
Yeah, I'm bringing up the article right now because she said something specific.
She did. She pulled out that Maya Angelou. I know why the cage bird sings.
Right. Still I rise. I feel like it's like a
What did we see that at? I mean, maybe y'all should pull it up because I don't see that Maya Angelou shit.
Yeah, I can read it. I won't read the whole thing because it's long, but yeah. So she responded. His wife Kristen responded with a Maya Angelou quote, which you gotta be hurt to pull out the Maya Angelou, and it was a long one too. Like I'm not even gonna read it because it was so long. But the first couple lines are: most people don't grow up. It's too damn difficult. What happens is most people get older. That's the truth of it. They honor their credit cards. They find parking spaces. They marry. They have the nerve to have children, but they don't grow up.
Wow.
Not really. They get older. And there's a couple more lines after that, but y'all get the
Is that
gist.
Maya Angelou who said that?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Like, I thought that was her words. I mean, I was thinking like she's so well spoken.
No, she just know how to read a quote. She might be well spoken. I don't know. I might be hating, but yeah. So what was this, like a week later? It was less than 7 days later, I think. And she put this on her Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is there any possibility that it's unrelated?
Slim to none. And if it is unrelated and I was Chance, I'd be pissed. Like, damn, you already know the world's looking at me. Like, you couldn't have saved this until the heat died down.
And why she put this on Instagram and not talk to him about it though?
I mean, that part.
Like, why do we need to know? Like, first,
why do we think this is unrelated? Like, where's that coming from?
No, I'm just asking. Like,
definitely related.
I'm just asking. Like, is there any possibility?
I was like, did anyone ever say? Anyone thinking that? Like, we know who she's talking about. There's only one. It's her husband.
But to say like have the nerve to have children when you had do they have kids?
That was Maya Angelou's words, right?
Yeah. But I'm saying she highlighted it though. Like she wanted us to see like they have the nerve to have children. So it's like, but you had children with him though.
She's trying to make him feel bad. That's the perfect way to do it.
She is.
But like, why to the? I guess because it's one of them things where it's like if you embarrass me in front of the world, then you got to apologize in front of the world. So like maybe it's like, oh, they saw all this, so now they're gonna see this post.
I feel like she's taking a higher, respectful way of putting out Chance. I feel like the Maya Angelou quote is a good way, like the high ground, to say, yeah, he was fooling out there.
He Chance also responded by posting a clip of a Bill Burr stand-up where he was talking about like marriage and like arguments in marriage and like the ups and downs of marriage. So that was his own little sub about the situation, basically saying like, yeah, we gonna fight. Like it is what it is.
He posted that recently.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why would Chance do that? Like, why are you doubling down? Shut up. Like you're already caught in this shit. Like, why are you tweeting shit related to? Just let it go. Like
he's prepping us for "I Love My Wife" Part 2, and honestly, I don't want to hear it. Miss me with that.
I didn't want to hear the first one. I ain't gonna
Exactly. It's gonna be even worse the next time. Oof.
Oh man.
Jeez.
I was down in Carnival. Like we ain't trying to hear that shit.
Yeah, I didn't even hear that last album.
I ain't either. I ain't even go with you.
It was not worth it. Not worth the time.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Is it any possibility that she don't care? And like she just posted this just to like
I think in real life she don't really care. I feel like she went at Chance for a little bit, but I feel like she knew it was just like a dance and he was just probably drunk or whatever, just out and about. I don't think she really cared about it like that. She probably was one of those things where she was mad like in the morning, but then was okay by the nighttime.
Or maybe she just didn't care at all.
And she might just be one of those situations where, like, I'm just mad it was out on video. Like, damn, you had to publicly embarrass me.
So that's my hypothesis. Like it came out on video. We seen him at Carabana, and now she like, okay, publicly I got to make it seem like I feel some type of way, but I really don't. But I'm gonna post this quote because this quote is good and relevant. But I'm gonna post this quote. I might not give a fuck though. Like that's my hypothesis. She might care though. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Not enough to. It's not that big of a deal. He wasn't calling no big scandal like Kevin Hart or some shit.
No, yeah, Kevin. Yeah, there's been some dudes wilding like for it over a dance and an ass smack.
Yeah, Chance was. It's like that's literally why people are at Carolina.
Like even his scandals godly. Like that's really crazy to me. Like, even his scandals don't even go that crazy. Like he could have went way crazier than this. Especially for your woman to be mad at you. You ain't even do nothing for real. Like he could have actually took it back to the crib, you know?
I know that's how you feel. He was like, man, why leave me alone? He was upset.
Another thing though, I'm always weary of people that talk about their wife a lot, talk a lot about how much they love their wife. Because if you say that a lot, I don't believe you.
Me either.
It's like you overcompensating for
something.
Why? Y'all don't believe in love? Y'all some dark ass people.
No.
I can't talk about loving my wife every day and just be happy, and people just gonna expect us just happy like that.
Would you want to hear that every day from your homeboy? Like, yeah, man. Me and the wife, we just hit it. You know.
Yeah, we doing good. Like we
Every
living it
day?
up. If we talking, I don't know why you talking to homeboy every single day and talk about your wife.
So this
like
that's the part. That's why it's like every day though. Like
I don't know. I mean, if your wife is always with you and y'all just real happy, be like, yeah, me and the wife just got done doing blah blah blah. Like every time y'all talk, be like, that's what happened. I mean, man, it's like we just happy. Like
the wife, we just went over.
Yeah.
Like I don't
we got some food. Like we was cooking. Like we living good. Me and the wife.
So this is why I brought this up is because at work, right? Let's talk about work, you know, in the workplace. People that's always talking about their wives and their kids. Maybe it just annoys me. Maybe I hate hearing it when somebody always like, oh yes, my husband. Like, oh yeah, my wife. Like maybe that shit just annoying as fuck to me. You know, I'm just like
you know, it's annoying to me when it has nothing to do with the conversation. Like if I ask you what you do this weekend and it's like, oh, me and my wife, we went to XYZ place. Okay, that's fine. But women in particular have a habit of like throwing out husband or boyfriend when it makes no sense in the conversation. Like, oh, I really like this water bottle. Yeah, you know what? So my boyfriend, he drinks water too. He doesn't use this bottle, but and it's like, bitch, I don't care. Why are you telling me about this nigga? Shut up.
I don't care.
Shut up.
That shit is just aggravating to me. It's just like maybe I am a dark and just sad person or some shit. Cause I just don't want to hear about that shit ever. I don't want to hear about your kids. I don't care because this is my thing though. I pride myself on, or not even I pride myself, but I respect people that's like individuals. Like for you to have a life and stuff like, and you to be able to talk about things. If you have to base it on somebody else that's in your life, then I don't like. Who are you though? You know what I mean? Like, okay, we seen you. We know you married. We know you got 3 kids. But like, who are you?
We saying you saying that as a lone single black brother.
That's true.
Like a lot of people who's are older and getting up there in the 30s, they have families, and their life becomes their kids. Like I have a coworker, and every conversation he's bringing up one of his sons. It'd be like, okay, like
that's not annoying.
Like how smart his son is, or how smart he is, and what he's like. It just okay. Like
I don't care.
I got it.
It would be different if it was like that's my like real. Like if it was one of y'all and we were talking about it, it's like okay, like y'all are my actual friends. But for
there's a level of emotional investment.
Yeah, it's like oh, like I done known y'all for 10 plus years, and like that's your spouse, that's your kid. But like I don't fuck with y'all at the job, so I don't want to hear about it. You know, I think that's where it comes from.
It's like, at least for me, I'm like, I don't give a fuck enough about you to give a fuck about those kids.
Exactly. So, Rod, like when he say that, like, what you say back? Like, is it something that y'all really have conversations about? Like, be like, oh, then how's he doing at hockey or like t-ball or something?
See, the thing is, it's not like a one-on-one. It's normally like we all kind of in the conference room, like for the morning, like someone brings donuts or something, and or whatever. And yeah, we just having conversations, and he'll bring up his kids or something. And someone, I mean, of course, someone in the office would be like, "Oh, really? Like,
Oh, how's Jimmy?
like, I don't know. Me personally, like when people do that, I'm just quiet. I'll just be like, I give him a nod, like of approval. Like, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you like us then, so you don't give a fuck either.
Exactly. But you know what, too? I think it's always awkward being like one of the unmarried people in the group.
Oh yeah.
Because, they'll get up there and they're like, what'd you do this weekend? Oh, I went with the kids and the wife to the pumpkin patch. And it's like, what'd you do, Jermayne? Like, well, I got drunk midday and passed out. Like, I don't know. I don't think you guys really want to hear this story, actually.
But the funny thing is, we don't want to hear their shit either. So you might as well be like, yeah, because I had went up. The first shot I had a lemon drop, then I had a green tea shot, then I had this guy buy me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should tell that story.
See, I feel like married couples and stuff like that, when they talk to someone who ain't got nobody, they probably feel the same way. Like, why ain't you got nobody? Like, you just really by yourself? Like, they probably look down on like people like us.
I be thinking about that
But
though.
you ain't got no family? Like,
I be thinking about that shit too. I'd be like, damn, like, do y'all look at me differently because I don't like that because I'm single? You know what I mean? You shouldn't. But like, just because y'all married don't mean y'all got shit figured out. Like, your wife fucking
I
another
feel like
nigga
all the
anyway,
married
so.
people look down.
You think so?
Yeah. They look down if like if you ain't got nobody, like something's wrong with you or
Let me find out somebody cheating. Let me find out. I'm talking shit. You want to look down on me?
Well, speaking of cheating, cheater of the year, Ime Udoka, he just got a new job. I'm not sure if you guys saw, but he's going to be the head coach of the Rockets, which should be very interesting. I'm like, if you felt the need to cheat in Boston, baby, it's going up in Houston. Going crazy in the strip club.
Ain't no white women in Houston. Wait, it was a white woman, right?
Is that official? Like, do we know yet? I mean, I'm assuming it was probably a white woman, but
I think didn't we get? I might be thinking about the. Remember, what was them two news anchors? You know what I'm talking about? It was like CBS or something. I might be thinking
ABC.
Yeah,
Yep.
ABC. Yeah, I might be thinking about that. But yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming it was probably a white woman. Like, you're probably right, but he might find a thick white one out in Houston.
it literally was on the screen like who he was with. It was with somebody that he worked with.
Yeah.
It was like this. I think it was a Hispanic woman. It looked like.
Let me see.
Yeah, I mean, it came out. It was one of the.
It was somebody
athletic
close to the
something.
team. Yeah, somebody
Yeah,
close
it
to
was
the
someone
team.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was somebody who was like married to somebody else who worked for the team too or something, but I never knew like her actual race. Interesting. Okay, well then maybe he won't be a problem in Houston. I don't know, but I got my eye out on him, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, here she go right here, Kathleen.
Oh yeah, that's a white girl name.
I see the picture.
Oh, it was white.
Yeah, I'm looking at her picture right now. Allegedly, I don't know if this is exactly, but I have seen this picture before.
Oh, I guess not Hispanic though.
Yeah, or she could be Hispanic, but it don't look like it. But yeah. So he's going down to Houston, about to be the head coach. I mean,
He's single, right?
Yeah, that's why I
they
say he's
done?
gonna be going crazy. I think they broke up.
rightfully so. I mean, that makes sense. Now, did y'all? To me, I knew he was gonna get another head coaching job at some point. He didn't do too bad
Yeah.
on the Celtics. You know what I mean? Like,
He was a great coach. After 1 year, took him to the playoffs.
exactly.
Low key, I was hoping the Pistons picked him up.
That would have been dope too. But yeah, I wasn't. Some things like these. Can we talk about this though? Like getting fired for cheating.
Yeah, like the person on the news and
Yeah, like Amy Holmes and TJ.
Yeah,
Let
TJ
me look up their
something.
names.
yeah. It's like, why are they even mad at them? Like, because they're on the news and happy?
Like, why is that a fireable offense though?
I mean, there's moral reasons.
Okay, like what though?
Cheating is a scandal. It's frowned upon. That's like what?
But do that mean you need to get fired from your job though? Like I can understand with the ABC because like they were on TV together. Like
Which was sick.
yeah, like I get that.
If you're bringing a lot of unwanted attention to our business,
Mhm.
then I can see that could be grounds to fire you because it's more of a problem dealing with the media and everything that surrounds you than to just let you go or suspend you. And while you deal with that, and then come back when the heat is died down. I feel like from a business standpoint, it makes sense.
I don't know. I guess I feel like I can see the TV anchors potentially getting fired because it's distracting to the show. But for Udoka, I feel like he shouldn't have got fired and they should have handled that in house, like reprimand him privately, rearrange the org however you need to keep them separated. Or still fire him if you want, like if he's just totally disrespects the orders to stay away from this woman. But I just feel like, damn, like she wanted to fuck him.
I mean that's what we can assume. Like we can assume it was consensual.
Yes. Let me say that. I assume it was
And just like the
consensual.
reporters, they wanted to fuck each other too.
Oh yeah, they was
But
in
it just
love.
looks weird because like they're both on the news and they're still smiling each other in the face and still
Make your
cheating.
eyes.
Yeah, and it's just like, and,
Make
and,
your
and the whole, everyone's literally tuning in just to see this dynamic. Like they both got people back home, and they're
They
just
were
smiling doing the news.
blatantly flirting on TV as two married people. That was sick. I'm sorry. That was some wild shit. That was good TV though.
It is good
So I can
TV.
understand why, like a news channel, yeah, like this is the news. Like
This is a lot.
y'all promoting y'all scandal along with the news, and we can't have that.
I do agree with you, Rob. But at the same time, nobody watches the news, so I'm sure they got a spike of like,
They did.
you know what I mean. So it's like, y'all really,
Yeah,
like,
but
y'all
that's
won.
only for a little. You only want that kind of attention for a little bit. You don't want that like that's not. You're not a soap opera. You don't want that to be your story continuously. Like it's okay for a week, but after a week, it's like this is old, and we don't want people to continuously tune in for that.
Yeah, no, that is true. That's true. That's true. Wait, so Raj, you in Houston? Have you been to this? I don't know if I could ask you this on the podcast, but have you been to the strip club yet?
No, I don't go to strip clubs.
That's strip club capital.
Yeah, if not Atlanta, it's
Behind
Houston.
Atlanta. Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying there's no white one, but there's definitely white women.
I know. I'm just talking shit.
It's hella Hispanics too.
I'm about to say it's Texas. Like it's really everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever told that story about how we got a section at the strip club in like South Carolina. That was a crazy experience.
What were you doing in South Carolina?
One of my
I got a
homeboys,
section.
a whole section.
Woo!
Guess how much it was? 300.
That's it.
Yes.
Wow. Those South Carolina prices.
That's cheap.
4 of
Yeah,
them.
super cheap.
75 per person. I'm like shit.
Going crazy.
But you gotta buy bottles with the section.
Bottles came. I want to say it came with like 3 bottles.
You have to buy that on top of the section.
No,
Damn.
it came with bottles.
Oh,
And
that's
it
a
came
great
with
ass deal
strippers.
then.
And they would like kept just sending them up there. Like they would just send the next. Like that shit was crazy.
South Carolina was treating you right. Yeah. Wow. What the strippers look like? Like,
See,
did they look decent?
Now that's where that's where it gets interesting. It was some cool ones though. Like it was definitely like it was this one Asian one. She was cute. It was like 2 black ones that was real cute. The white one. It might have been like one white one that was good.
Was it a white strip club or a black strip club?
I couldn't tell. I mean, the people that ran it was white, but like it was black people in there too.
Okay.
Crazy thing is, we went. It was like 2 p.m. too, so that was also wow. And then also somebody that won't be named.
Y'all got a section at 2 p.m.
I don't know what the fuck we was on. I think we just like, all right, like let's just do.
How many people were in there? Was y'all like the only one?
It was just us, yeah.
That's why all the strippers were coming up there.
Like
spread the wealth.
We was there before they opened though. Like we was just in the section waiting.
What? Sick.
We were just in the section waiting for.
Sick.
No, okay. Somebody that won't be named. I thought this was crazy, even though I would consider doing this. But like, somebody paid to like I don't know if he really fucked, but like he paid and like it was definitely penetration that happened like in the back room.
Oh yeah, of course.
I knew I've heard that happened, like that happens, but like,
You ain't heard that? That does happen. Like one of my homies said he went and paid.
and that's what, yeah. But I didn't really know like for real, like, oh, he really did that. Like I got a dance like a extra one of them extra dances, but she wasn't like,
Yeah,
oh, you
you
don't
went to
want
the
to.
back, right?
Yeah, but she wasn't like, you don't want to. Like I didn't get the offer, so it's like,
Did did you give that energy though?
oh, I gave the energy.
What the energy? What is the Riz? You gave her the Riz.
It wasn't even that. It don't even got to be no res
It
for
was just the thirst.
the third. It was the thirst for sure. I was in that hole having a
You
good
should have brought
time.
out pull out a couple few $100.
Not for her. Not no couple hundred. The section was 300. The whole when I tell you that motherfucker was big, like that shit look like a choir stand in the church. Like that motherfucker was like big. Like, it was like it really could fit like 50 people, but it was just four of us in there. Like, we was in that hole so drunk for no reason, just throw it down. Ooh, man, that was a good time. I had to leave because I ran out of money. I just like walked out and I was just in the parking lot like, damn, I wish I was still in there. But I threw my last dollar and I was like, I gotta go.
And at that point, you're like, time to go.
Because I wanted to sit there and just be like, yeah, like, because they expect money. Like, they expect you to throw dollars. So, like, I didn't want to just be like, oh, like, but whew, all right. I think that's it. Let me see. We covered all the topics today. I don't know what I'm going to have to cut out, what I can keep.
Let's go ahead and get to the highlights.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, so my highlight this week is a few different music projects. Since we don't really do the love and hate at this point, I'm gonna say Tony Millions 420 Everyday project. He dropped it on 420, a lot of great tracks. He's really rapping on this one. It's some really good songs. He even got Nessie the Rilla on there. Both friends of the pod. Also, another project, BigXthaPlug, a Texas artist from Dallas, AMAR. Great project. It's pretty smooth. He's new on the scene. I think he's only gonna grow.
Oh, yeah.
He gives me like kind of like a Master Cream kind of ascension rise. I think he's gonna get that kind of help when he gets more of those big name features. And then I'm gonna do my last one here, Sremm for Life. I feel like that project has really been quiet for some reason, and I think there's a
It
lot
has
of
been.
big bangers on there. And I'm wondering, like, is those songs gonna correlate when it gets a little bit warmer? People maybe like another month when the summer hit.
Mm-hmm.
But that Script for Life is really hard, and that's what I
I
got
gotta
to
check
highlight.
that out. So I can give my highlight really quick. My girl Dej Loaf is back. So she just released a single with Doughboy, Roll the Dice. It's fire. I'm actually a really big Dej Loaf fan. I feel like she never really got the support and the push that she really deserved.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to see, like, I feel like a lot of the current artists today are her kids, especially like the Coily Rays of the world and stuff like that. And so hopefully now there's going to be more appreciation for her sound. Another,
I got a question before you go to your another one. With Dej Loaf, what project from Dej Loaf that you think influenced the people underneath her, or was it a particular song that you think influenced them, or was it just overall? I don't know. I guess I want to know your opinion on that.
so a few things. So obviously, she had the couple big singles. She had the Me, You, Hennessy.
Ooh.
She had Backup. She had
Try Me.
Try Me. In terms of like full projects that she had that were really dope, she had this project with Jacquees. It's like still one of my favorite projects, called Fuck a Friend Zone, which I feel like were people who were like into her her stuff, like it still goes off. And oh shoot, there was another, even her like more recent project. She actually had some features on there that were super underrated. Like she had a feature with Lil Uzi. She had one with 42 Doug and Sada Baby. So she's been, putting out a lot of work that I just feel like is either forgotten about because other people are taking over that sound. I definitely think she put her time in.
Yeah, because like Try Me came out and like nothing ever sounded like Try Me before. And Me, You, and Hennessy. And it was like, I could see Corey. It's funny that you said Corey LeRae because, yeah, damn.
But compared to Detroit artists, I feel like she's definitely on par with them.
Nah, that was different for Detroit back then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying like the style now for like Detroit. I think of like a Babyface Ray, Dej Loaf. I mean, they both were like the same time. Well, actually, Babyface was before Dej Loaf.
Yeah. Team Eastside shit. Let me go ahead and make my highlights so we can get up out of here. Man, shout out to the Weeknd. I still will always,
Yes, sir.
I will 100% say everything after the trilogy is garbage to me. So I want to take it all the way back to that very first joint, House of Balloons, the song called Coming Down. And yeah, that's like one of my favorite Weeknd songs. He was singing on that bitch. And the thing is, I don't know if y'all have Spotify, but like you'll play one song and it'll give you a bunch of other related songs. And like this one gave me I was listening to that the derivatives of this song for like 2 days. And so like I got to shout out to the Weeknd for this one. So yeah.
Yeah, he got he's working on something new. I seen Mike Dean post it, and it sounded like House of Blooms Weekend. So
Ooh.
Nice.
I think we might be getting some more of that kind of music coming soon. That's the kind of Weekend I want to hear too.
The crazy thing is he never stopped talking about he's talking about the same shit, but it's like it sound different. Like it sounds mainstream. When like House of Balloons, it sounds like they made that shit on GarageBand and Closet. But other than that, I'm just gonna keep rambling about the Weeknd. So this has been the Friends Podcast. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening.
Yes,
And
sir.
we out. Peace out.
Peace.